Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lana, and in this series I analyze character costumes from Amazon's The Rings of Power. I point out what I like and dislike about each costume, and I give my suggestions for improvement by providing photos and even my own character costume redesign sketch. So keep watching till the end. If you haven't already seen the first video of this series, I'll link it here. I analyzed and redesigned Princess Disa's costume. But in this one, I'll break down Miriel's outfit. First, let's just say a few things about the Kingdom of Numenor. Numenor was a kingdom of men on an island that was brought up from the Great Sea by the Valar in the Second Age. The Numenoreans were known as the kings from the sea and were one of the most powerful realms in the Second Age. So they were a culture associated with the ocean, and furthermore we can make an argument for association with the stars. Firstly, the island of Numenor was star-shaped, but more importantly, the island was originally called Elena, which means starwards, because men were led to the island by the star of Rendil. So, instead of the sun, which appears to be a symbol or emblem that Amazon has chosen for Numenor in its Rings of Power series, I'd say a star would be a better choice. This also leads me to suggest that silver, rather than gold, would be a better choice of metal to associate with Numenor. Now, let's look at Miriel's costumes that have been released so far. There are a few, but let's start with this one. So, the helmet is pretty atrocious. It looks ridiculous and impractical. The nose guards don't actually cover their noses either, so what's the point? Any clothes, especially armor, should be designed with the purpose in mind. Who are they going to be worn by, and where? This just looks theatrical and performative. I don't necessarily mind scales being incorporated into the armor design, but it has to be done right. This just doesn't look like a good armor as a whole, so I'm not a fan of this look at all. Again, this shirt armor-like thing here is so bad. I will say, I do like the cape, not if she's going into battle, but this just looks like they're going through the city, so it's fine. But I do wish it was silver instead of gold, because that would match Numenor better in my opinion, as I already mentioned. The sword looks pretty decent too, but I'll get nitpicky again and ask, is this just a weird reflection of light, or are her nails painted? Because if they are, that just makes the whole thing so much more modern looking, and that's not meant as a compliment. I really hope that I'm wrong here and that she's not wearing some shimmery nail polish. Okay, this crown is just as bad as the Spike's helmet. I would actually like it if it was just the hairpiece without these things at the sides. I don't even know why they put them here. Are they supposed to be like coral inspired? Doesn't look good. If we take these corals off, it would be much better, and the design with the star, pearls, and blue gems would look fine on its own, I think. The other accessories are okay to me, but again, I do wish they were in silver rather than gold. The blue for the dress and the net-like bit on her arms, I don't mind this, but I don't think the scales look that great. In the armor, I can see how they might incorporate them and make it look decent, but on a gown like this, it's just far too modern looking for my taste. So this headpiece I'm pretty much okay with. Again, I'd prefer silver, but it's interesting looking and perhaps, I would change a few things, but I don't hate it. The scales on the dress, again, I don't think they work well, but I like the shade of the fabric. It looks kind of pearl-like and shimmery, and I like the belt piece. The bangles, not a fan of. They look a bit too rigid in my opinion. The cape thing, I think it's kind of interesting. The color combination is okay, at least the blue part, not so much the orange, but the fabric looks a bit too heavy, especially paired with this light flowy dress. And this looks kind of interesting to me, and it's probably my favorite. We can't see the whole dress and it's pretty dark, but I generally like the style and the fabric choices. I can't tell if it's gold or goldish, greenish shade, which I don't mind, but I would personally rather see Miriel in a more uniform color palette. For example, like Galadriel has her iconic white, I'd prefer shades of blue, silver, and pearl for Miriel. But the style looks interesting. I would change a few things, but generally I don't hate it. The headpiece is much better without the corals, a big plus for that. The hairstyle is okay. It's styled, but it's not too rigid. Again, the bangles are not my favorite, but overall this is pretty nice and I'm ending this part on a positive note. Now, here are my suggestions for Miriel's costume redesign. For the dress, I see primarily blues and silvers, matched with white and pearly shades, maybe something darker blue too, or seafoam shades, loose but still fitted, Greco-Roman style of dress, maybe a bit of Oriental influences too. Fairly simple, lightweight, flowy fabrics, enhanced with accessories and jewelry. Other tones are fine, but like I said, I would prefer to stick with the bluish, silverish, or cream palette for her. Hair should be loose, but still with some braids and jewelry incorporated. The hairstyles I chose here sort of reminded me of A Mermaid's Tale. They're simple, but not completely boring or unkempt. The hair should look regal, like her dresses, and they should match well. Jewelry should be silver with pearls, maybe shell-like or nautical motifs incorporated, but they should remain elegant looking, not cheap or tacky. Rings with blue stones or pearls should be used. Bangles should be less rigid, not geometrical or as bold as they were, for example, for Disa, but they should still be prominent and something that stands out. I would prefer some more relaxed, divine-like motifs for a Numenorean queen. Hair accessories with stars or reminiscent of stars should be used, silver and with pearls. Not too distracting, kitschy or theatrical, but understated, matching the dress and elevating it. I came across these belts and sashes, and I think if done right and in moderation, a piece like this could really elevate a simple dress to a regal status without making it look cheap. Here is a final sketch that I came up with for Miriel's costume. So what do you think about Miriel's dress? Let me know in the comments below and leave your suggestions for which character's costume I should do a breakdown of next. I'll see you soon. Bye!